Pause. Pause. Button. Pause. Pause. Button. Pause
Right.
recording. Console mic switch off. On.
Let's stop faffing about and get talking. So, I was discussing, before all that caper, about the radio station, and I basically wanted to talk about the money. Money. We have no money. Before you all go, and everything. We spent it all.
Gmail. Now. YouTube. Copyright claim. Your video has been blocked. Episode 1. The Thursday Night Divide are amazing stuff to be discussed. Made with Spreaker. High Mind Mob. Due to a copyright claim. Your YouTube video has been blocked. This means that your video can no longer be played on YouTube. Video title. Episode 1. The Thursday Night Divide are amazing. Right,
okay. So I have to describe exactly what I had in the other one. In this one, because the fricking thing's been blocked. Oh shit, I'm on air. Right, yeah. Anyway, I didn't describe that much anyway. So we basically, I mean, you should download the thing as a podcast, the whole show. You can listen to it back. So basically, what happened was, was basically the station has no money, or had no money. Well, it has no money. It has no money. In 2010, we spent a lot, and we're going to 2010. We had packets of money that came in, and we spent a lot of it on stupid things, not just drink, not just parties, not just transport, but we spent on lots of good stuff, gear, DJ gear. We bought leads, we bought headphones, we bought microphones. We did a lot of work. We bought cassette tapes. The list is endless of what we bought. And we partied as well. And we had a whole new studio look. And which was, you got to remember, it was the time. And I got 50 quid once. And I went out and blew it. I thought, do you know what, I'm going to get this. I bought SD cards. I bought everything. And we went wild for the studio. What could we get next and everything? But when we had committee meetings, it wasn't, what aren't we allowed to spend? And then when the money kept coming, it was, because when the cuts were announced on the news and everything, I'd go to my mummy and I'd go to Scott Baldwin and I'd say, do the cuts affect us? No. But unfortunately, they do now. Unfortunately, the spending has been, I won't say cut, I don't like to use that word, it's a political word. The spending has been reduced. The Temporadio.tv, the site which you all know and love, even though it's a pretend website, we don't own this. First and foremost, we don't own the server that it's on. The server that it's on is owned by Sefton. Now, I didn't want to discuss this. Well, it's not owned by Sefton. Own one of the servers. I've got to be careful in the way I say this. One of the servers is in Dunes, right? It's a media server, and it's being closed down anyway soon. The other server is a Screen 2 server, and it's costing an arm and a leg to keep us going, right? We could have the whole of the website put on that server, and it would cost us more. We no longer have any other radio stations to help us out. We are now officially a community station. And as you heard before about copyright claims, I want to discuss this as well. After Christmas, our back catalogue will not be featured on YouTube. It will be on Spreaker, but it won't be on YouTube, unfortunately. And there'll be the odd show here and there that comes up on Mixcloud due to stupid copyright claims. It's cheesing us off here. This is the third time it's happened. The third time unlucky. And so, yeah, in the newsletter on the 17th, I'm going to discuss a lot about iTunes and where you can buy your music and stuff. And then there'll be one of the breakfast shows where I go in full. But I kind of want to cut all that out because I didn't want to do all the political stuff. So back to the website. The website, which we paid for the website, we can no longer pay for the website. The money to pay for the website has run out. WordPress, which is completely free, we can edit it. That's where Temp Radio will soon be. It'll be on WordPress, the brand new website. Now, will also be the Facebook stuff will also be renewed. It's going to be the same page on Facebook, but there's going to be brand new stuff. The Temper Official, does everybody remember that? That's going to be a Facebook page as well, and hopefully there'll be information on that and stuff like that. So please keep tuned in, because a lot's happening, a lot of changes are happening, and it's all due to money and stuff. And back to, obviously, crumbs, where are we? So the website's going to be, it's all going to be fantastic, because we'll be posting on it every single week, and, well, posting every single day, but it'll have programs and schedules and all that good stuff. And Facebook will have all the events and stuff, so people can go, yeah, I want this event to happen, and blah, blah, you know. And you can see what's going on all the time. But of course, there'll be me on the 17th. I'm doing a Facebook live stream. And it'll be me being serious. I won't be discussing a lot of fun stuff. I'll be discussing a lot of serious stuff like copyright and where we buy our music and where we should have bought our music, but, you know, and where money's going and where it's not going. Scott Baldwin's going to do a bit of a talk as well on money, because I'm not great when it comes to finances. So the news that we're allowed to talk about. And, of course, safeguarding. We allow nobody over the age of 18 here on the air. It's just a policy. If they're below that age, you know, can't sneak them in anymore. There's a lot that goes on. Another thing, as a tape operator, we give them that title, you know, producer or whatever. You have to be, you know, chaperoned at least still. You know, and auditioning and stuff like that. So, yeah. And, of course, we can't give you a DJ name either. And that's also going in the thing. People thought that we could give you DJ names. In the past, we could. But it's to do with safeguarding. You'll see why. A lot of radio stations can't do it either now, because it's to do with safeguarding. You'll be silly how the safeguarding rules go, but we do have a safeguarding policy, and it's going to be put online. It's been taken off the website because we're renewing the website in January. It'll be on the new website, and I'm telling you something, there'll be a page dedicated just to all the policies that we'll have. And there's so many ridiculous rules. And another thing we can no longer do, the Millennium Prize. Ever. And that's, again, another... that's a data protection rule. It's not a safeguarding rule. It's a data protection rule. You know, this is the last year where we can sort of have fun. As, you know, doing stuff with the public and stuff and bringing them to the studio and that. But, yeah, it sort of closes the lid a little bit on a lot of the things that we did do quite recently. All the morale, all the problems we've had here in the past, and all, you know, present and future. That isn't in the newsletter, thank the Lord. I'm so glad that that's something that I'm not sharing. But, there's all the other stuff. The crash of Bank 4, if data protection had been then, you wouldn't have had Grandad Matt signing documents in the wrong place. Unfortunately, that is something that's been it's great history. And my real dad, Jeff Ball, he didn't save the station properly either because he wasn't interested in it. That's another thing. Obviously, we don't need to discuss. But getting back, excuse me, there was a wheeze there. Getting back to the newsletter. We have 2 studios we got to announce. 2 studios, well, 3 or 4. Guess how greedy we're getting. So yeah, the snooker room has a news area in it for people from news and a conference area and a library. Yeah, we know all of that. An office space, which I didn't know about, which we're paying for. We now have a manager. Jim Nightingale has joined the Temper Radio clan and is now a middleman and sits in the middle. He's allowed us to give you some of this news. The news on the house, the private stuff, I can't even tell you. So the news about my old bedroom, for example, I couldn't even tell you about. But we, it's like, well, we moved in the basement since 2011. People know when we moved in. We moved in 2011. September 2011, we moved in the studio. And we had our first Christmas in 2011. But 2012 was when it really got interesting because we spent like a whole year. That was our first proper full-blown year in the cellar. And if you want to know what that was like, it was not as great as we would have intended. Communication wasn't brilliant, to be fair, amongst not just myself, but other presenters as well. It was... because Dad just wanted to do painting all day long. That's another story. That's another story for another day. But anyway, so the cellar has had a brand new floor, which got purchased in 2015. The cellar got a remake. After all the years of dust, grime and filth, dark walls, carpet, which was just overwearing, and a licensed bar. Now, a lot of people doesn't understand what would a bar do in a studio. We had a licensed bar and staff didn't use it in the end. The beer ran out and all that good stuff. And yeah, Dad got really annoyed with people using the bar tap. Apparently we got bollocked over using the bar pump, but we never used it. I know staff who did. They used it in the airtime. And we had a proper drip tray. I can't speak. We had a proper drip tray and everything. So yeah, food and drink used to be consumed down here. I wanted to do a little bit about Vodafone's stint when they were a sponsor. And the bar stools we had here, we sold to Vodafone, which we didn't, but it's a great